Hi, my name's Fabio Sementilli. I'm the Technical and Creative Director of Wella, the Salon Professional Division of P&G Beauty. I want to congratulate all of you who are competing in the BSG Fashion Frenzy Student Competition. It's going to be amazing. Now, I'd like to also help you with a couple of little tips that may help you to create that winning look. Number one, please make sure you read the rules and regulations. You got to know what the competition's about. You got to know what they're expecting, and that's going to help you big time. Secondly, a mentor. Where do you find a mentor? Where do you begin? The school that you're attending, the salon that you got your hair cut, any friends that you know may be in the business, and they don't necessarily have to be hairstylists. You can go to makeup artists, you can go to nail technicians, fashion designers, anything like that. That'll really help you quite a bit. Now, the finals is going to be at Intercoiffure, which is May 19th, and it's going to be in Florida. I'll be there as well. And I'm so proud that BSG Cosmoprof and Wella selected me to be the overarching mentor. I'm going to help you as much as you can. Get on the internet and find inspiration from all over the world. Hairbrained, Scissor Boy, BTC, Modern Salon. You can also look me up on Facebook. That's Fabio Sementilli. Looking forward to seeing all of you. Good luck and congratulations. How to up your profile as a student or at least coming out of school. I was a student back in 1985 and I graduated in 86. And I can tell you, if you were like me, I didn't really have a lot of money to play with. I didn't have a lot of connections in the industry. I did have my sister who was a stylist, but you know how it is with your sister and all that. I can tell you that what I did was I made myself available. I made sure that when a show came into town or I knew there was a hairstylist in my city that represented a manufacturer or was a platform artist, I asked them, can I help you? I don't want to get paid. I don't want anything for it, but I needed the exposure. I needed to make sure I saw behind the scenes. That's how I raised my profile. There's no secret to it. It's one client at a time, it's one show at a time, and it's one good deed at a time. Make sure you pay it forward. It'll pay off in the long run.
We're here at the Facebook wall at Premier Orlando with Fabio Sementilli, who is the North American Creative Director for Wella. I only have one question for him today. What does the North American Creative Director do at Wella, and how do you help stylists?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm actually happy you asked me the question. So, in a nutshell, what I try to do is I work for an incredible corporation, and it's Wella, the professional division of P&G. They come up with some great innovation, great technology, market research, but the only problem is they need the hairdresser or a hairdresser in the company to translate all of that incredible information and bring it to the stylists who are in the salon. I care about one person and one person only. It's my brother and sister who's working behind the chair every single day. I've been a hairdresser for over 30 years, and it's important that we build long, sustainable careers so you can support a family, you can support yourself, and make people beautiful. In a nutshell, that's what I do. The other piece of what I do is the shows and events. So when you go to a trade show and you see the beautiful Wella booth and Sebastian and Nioxin and Clairol, that's a little bit of my doing, but more importantly, it's my team's doing. So I absolutely love my job, Bart. I care immensely about our industry, and I want to protect it with all the experience I have. And Wella allows me to do that. And I know our partnership with Cosmoprof is just incredible. And I love the gang, I love the partnership, and I thank you for doing this. It's important to get the word out.
Excellent. Thank you very, very much.
You're welcome.
Keep that creative juices flowing, man.
Thank you, Bart. Appreciate it. And being from Minnesota, you're kind of almost Canadian like me.
I know, aren't we just wonderful?
Right. First of all, Maggie, we've had a great day today. We're on this rooftop patio in Hollywood. And, you know, when I think back to 27, 28 years ago, I never thought I'd be in this position today, being able to talk to you and to everybody watching out there. But, yeah, NLG, it's an acronym, and it really stands for Next Level of Greatness. I talk about that, and I talk about that a lot throughout my programs and seminars that I do across the U.S. because I believe leadership happens at any age. I believe leadership is not really about a title. And leadership is not really about age either. It's about attitude, Maggie. And it's about having the right attitude. So there are a couple of traits I want to share with you guys that I feel over the years that I've been, you know, part of this industry, and I've seen some great leaders. What do they have or what do they do that's different from the people who are not leaders or who are not influencers in the industry. So a couple of things I want to talk about. Number one, I have to say, is definitely attitude, and it's positive attitude. And I'm going to share something with you. I want you to kind of almost take count of all your friends and anybody around you and think about it and say, hey, are these people adding to my life? And if they're not adding to your life, well, guess what? They're taking away something from you. And if they're taking away something from you, I would say maybe keep them outside of the periphery and keep the ones who are adding to your life a little closer to you. Second piece is completely its attitude. I want to make sure that I work next to a person who's positive, somebody who encourages, and somebody who mentors that next generation. I don't want to work next to somebody who's a drain on the salon or who's the bad apple. So that's one thing. Integrity. Can I talk to you guys about integrity? If there's one thing that everybody out there, all the hair bangers out there, what you need to make sure of is that you have integrity. And I have a favorite saying. Winston Churchill says, and I'm going to quote, that a lie will get halfway around the world before the truth has a chance to put its pants on. So remember that out there. Make sure you have integrity. Make sure it's with your clients, with your friends, and with your salon workers, your co-workers, that you stand and your reputation really stands for integrity. That's really important to me. I think the next piece is really about mentorship. And I feel that there's so many great hairstylists out there. And the worst thing possible is for all of your secrets and your techniques and everything that makes that person special, if you can't give that to somebody else, I'm not sure you've been successful as a hairstylist in our industry, or as successful as a senior hairstylist in our industry. So please, if you're out there and you've got lots to offer, make sure you're passing it on to that next generation. That's hugely, hugely important. And I think lastly, this one here is really dear to my heart, is about vision. But it's not just about having an idea. And let me give you a scenario. I'm sure a lot of you out there have friends, family members, people that you deal with every single day that have lots of grandiose ideas. Maggie, I'm sure you do too, right? They're always coming to you with the next big idea. That's not enough. It's taking that vision and making that vision come to life. That's special. When you can take that vision and bring it from conception all the way to execution, and you're following up on it, following through on it, and then in the end, you've created something special, now that's magical, Maggie. That really is magical for me. And to me, the next level of greatness is really about being a real human being. And in my salon, everywhere I've worked, I'm very, very proud to say that there's really nobody out there that can say, you know what, Fab gave me a bad run, or he didn't give me a chance. And I hope you feel the same way about your career, because in the end, we're all in the same business. We're all here for the same reasons. And I love and care for each one of you guys. Please do the same and pay it forward. Next level of greatness means a lot to me.
And that's great, and it's a great message, not just for our industry, but for everyone out there. And that's so great that you're doing that. We just had the most wonderful dinner, and Fabio was telling me that. So thank you for sharing it with our audience.
Hey everybody, Fab here for another Fab Style Friday, episode number 4, and today we're going to talk attitude. If you've ever come across somebody who you've thought is very successful in the industry, more than likely, when you really boil it down, it's not really their hairdressing skills. It's not really their precise cutting skills to that degree, or even their business acumen. It really boils down to how they treat other people, how they make other people feel, and as well as how do they help empower the people that are next to them. I feel this is the attitude that I know I react to really well, and I know that a lot of people out there also appreciate. Hopefully, for my hairdressing brothers and sisters out there, salon owners or otherwise, that behind the chair this week you made some money. I hope that number one, you treated your guests like your clients like really special guests, from when they walked into that door to when they left, loving their hair. I hope that during their visit you consulted with them and you talked about the direction their hair is going into, and talked about maybe some future trends and what you really feel is looks best on them. The third part is the service itself. So What did you do to them this week? Maybe they came in for one service, and I hope you tried to get them into something new. Whereas spring is still a little while away, but we can start thinking about that already. Whatever service you've done, I hope you've taken your time, do it well, and I hope you did it the best you could this week. Other than that, guys, just be really, really nice to the hairdresser that's next to you. Okay? Peace out. My phone's ringing. Gotta go. For me, the first thing is my family comes first. My parents taught me that. I have sisters who I adore, and my own family unit is the most dear to me. That's who I am on a really personal, deep level. If I start thinking about beyond that, I think about this a lot. You know, when you kind of sit in the backyard and I say to myself, you know, what do I want to be remembered for? Maybe I hope other people do that, and I always say to myself, I want to be remembered for the relationships I've built. I want to be remembered for how maybe I've made people feel in a positive light, and if it was negative for any reason, it's because I was honest. I hope that's what I'm remembered for, and so family, my friendship, my real close friendships, and then I think the third is for me all the stylists that I've touched in my life. I've traveled the world, and I've been so fortunate. I don't deserve any of this, but the stylists that I have touched over my life has been just so rewarding, and I hope they also remember that maybe I gave them a hand or gave them a leg up, or maybe, you know, some good advice. That's kind of the mumbo jumbo personal business, but Fabio, on a business sense, again, I think not much changes, because relationships, as we all know in our business, is paramount. Relationships with customers, relationships with colleagues, relationships with even maybe competitors, if I can use that word. I think at the end, you know, people remember how you make them feel, and I hope that I'm a positive influence on the folks that I meet every single day. And that's really my professional attitude. I'm very fortunate to be where I am, and I don't lose sight of that, and I don't lose sight of where I started from. I've been working with Wella, and now officially for Wella, for a long time. And I think if I really think about the company I work for, the people that I work with, the customers that we serve, our events, the only word that can really personify all of that is family. There is no better word, because I think I hope people see us as, yes, we're a big company, but we're also a tight-knit family. And everybody that we work with and you know, we interact with every single day, I truly consider part of my family, and I hope that comes out. I know it's the first time when I worked for Wella, the gentleman who was the president at the time, Mr. Joe Inuzzi in Canada, when he approached me, he was such a humble man. He was a serving type of a leader, a servant leader. He would get on his knees at a show, and, you know, he would wrap boxes and stuff, and I've always tried to emulate that, and I want to be that guy for the company. So family has to be the word for me. There's ebbs and flows in work. You know, you have periods where you absolutely love what you do. Then you have periods where maybe it's getting boring, or it's the same old. But I think overarching, what really gets me up in the morning and I feel drives me is today I feel like I hold one of the key positions in the industry for hairdressers. And with that comes a lot of responsibility as a hairdresser, and then being on an executive team for a big company. And here's why. If I took this job and I failed at my job, I'm not so sure the company would easily hire the next person who's a hairdresser. So I feel that being a hairdresser, I have to be really, really good at my job. I have to work twice as hard to even just get to the same place as everybody else is. But I have to work twice as hard, and it's my responsibility to do that, because the path that I'm leading, I want another hairstylist to be able to follow me in my path and achieve what I've been able to achieve, and even surpass that. So that's probably what gets me up in the morning, because I have this deep responsibility to do it for the next brother or sister in our industry. Depending on the look that I'm doing, I'm going to pull out a certain type of scissor. And this is a 5.5 inch offset, nice slender blades, where I can do some good cutting, okay? First section, guys. I'm going to bring her head forward, and I'm going to bring a piece right down to the front. Can you see those beautiful shades of blonde in there? Isn't that gorgeous? Okay. So put that right through here, and bring her hair forward. And on this side, I'm going to section this out, and I'm going to go right to the corner of her eye. Go to the corner of her eye, I'm going to clip the breast, and do the same thing here. And clip her hair here. Now here's what we're left with. I did not pre-cut this at all, so what you see here is what I saw when I first met her. Okay? And I didn't want to bring her up here all tricked out. I wanted to make sure that we're going to cut her fringe. One thing I'm just going to do is just take a secondary section, nice and easy and simple. And what I want to share with you and drive home is that when it comes to the fringe area, this is a money machine area. If you're not taking advantage of the fringe, and if you're not making the fringe almost its own haircut within a haircut, I think you're losing out on some dollars, profile of the salon, and a little bit of that customization work, your signature. So we're going to turn her just towards me. I'm going to take this section now with my comb, and I'm going to point cut it. I'm going to point cut it right at the bridge of her nose. Pick that up one more time. And do the same thing here. Now once I've done that, and I've got the length that I like, I'm going to gather all that hair, just going to pinch it, bring it right into the middle, and I'm going to move to the side. I want to show you guys something. So let me just take some of those ends out. I'm going to pinch it pretty high, and now with my shear, I'm going to go in at a 90-degree right into the hair. You can almost feel, if you kind of slow down, you can almost feel the thickness right where my finger is, where my thumb and forefinger are. And what I'm doing here is really fraying those ends, creating some beautiful texture in the front here. I'm just going to open that up now, okay? You can see kind of like already the openings and spaces in the front. Take my next piece. I'm going to bring that down. And guess what we're going to do here, guys? I'm going to let you know in about 10 more seconds if no one says anything.
You're going to cut the hair.
We're going to cut the hair. We're going to cut the hair with a guide. All right? It always amazes me how someone takes the first section and then they're kind of even move somewhere else in the hair and they're kind of come back and then back here again, they're not really sure what section they cut. Well, if you're going to bring a piece down, make sure you cut it with your guideline. Flip it open. There it is right there. Put your scissor in there, and we're going to point cut that. Now, just by virtue of the fact that I'm bringing everything into the middle, you know it's going to be a little longer on the edges, correct? Everybody know that? Okay. Just going to finish that off here. And I've got one more piece here. Now with this piece, take it up again. There's my guide. And I'm going to leave it a little bit longer, just a touch longer. Because we'll call that our swing piece. It's the piece that's probably going to move from one side to the other. You know what I mean? Okay? We'll bring that down now, and I'll move over to the side.
Hi everyone, it's Mary from BehindTheChair.com, and again we are here at Canoe Studios in New York City, and we're right on the Hudson River. It's an amazing, amazing space, kind of full of inspiration. But we're here with Fabio Sementilli, and I love this guy. He is so full of passion, and actually, to tell you the truth, it's why BehindTheChair.com is here. Is Fabio picks up the phone, and it's about a week and a half, 2 weeks after the hurricane, right?
Yeah.
Sometime after that. And Fabio is the creative director at Wella Professionals, and we have been seeing all these stories pouring in about everything that is happening here in New York. And we were hearing a lot of stories on Behind the Chair, And we're going, what are we going to do? I mean, what are we going to do behind the chair? And all of a sudden, this guy picks up the phone and says, we have a couple of hairdressers who have been so affected, and we want to create this whole evening, and we want to create this, this night. And so we said, we're in. And that was how many weeks ago?
Oh, I'm going to say that's 4 weeks.
It's like
probably 4 weeks to the day, actually.
Yeah. 4 weeks to the
and
day.
I called you on the weekend, Mary, as well.
We work 7 days a week. We always do.
Yeah.
But so tell me why. Like, what was it that moved you about doing this?
Yeah. Well, I mean, first of all, having people that you love and you care about being affected by Hurricane Sandy was the primary reason. And I think
it happens to everyone else.
Yeah, but never to you, right? And this one really hit close to home with friends and some distant family and friends of friends. So I thought to myself, we've got to do something. And what really started out as we were thinking maybe a small education event will kind of raise some money. We all have full-time jobs, Mary, as you know. I mean, guys, we're 7 days a week all over the world, practically. So it's not something that, I said, hey, I want to do this, and I want an extra job, but we needed to do this. So I called Mary, and I mean, bingo. Mary, kind of mobilizes her team.
We have a great team.
Yeah, and I mobilized my team, and away we went with some planning.
Yeah.
And we just started that way, didn't we, Mary?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We did, and I think just thinking about, what could we do to try to get the entire industry together. And that was one of the things I really loved about Ruben Carranza. And, Ruben, the CEO of Wella, and he didn't want this to be just about one organization.
Yeah.
He wanted it to really be the entire industry coming together. And so while Wella has been so instrumental, and the team's been so instrumental, including you, day and night, we're always talking on weekends, it really is about bringing the entire industry together. And it's not about just one company, it's about all of us coming together to help raise money. And so tell us about, because you were really the creator of what's going to happen on the stage tonight.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about what we can expect.
Yeah.
And again, we have a webcast tonight, starts at 8 o'clock Eastern time. For those of you in Chicago, that's 7 o'clock. And for those of you on the West Coast in California, that's 5 o'clock. We're going to start promptly, so tell us what we're going to expect tonight.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, Mary, can I tell you how proud I am, first of all, being involved in this core group, including you and all the different companies here that are here, as well as the PBA. For me, I think the stage tonight is really about celebrating who we are as a family, what we do in our craft, and not the jerseys that we wear every day, Mary. And it was so important to us that I said, tonight, guys, jerseys come off. We're going to do something really special for brothers and sisters who need help.
Yeah.
So tonight, it's kind of a hair show, but it's not really about hair. Tonight, it's about all of us just doing some beautiful looks, presenting our donation and our checks from our respective companies and respective people. But I can tell you one thing, that the most of the people I'm talking to as they're arriving today, they're just saying, let's get started. Like they want to pack up their stuff, they want to unload their stuff, get their models done, get their hair done, and get on that stage.
If you can hear my voice, I need Raquel or please.
Hey, and then you can hear that there's rehearsals going on. We're not going to say behind us, they're going on in front of us.
Absolutely. No, it's been great, but it's exciting. Mary, I don't know, maybe you can help me with this question, but I don't ever remember all different companies, distributors, coming together like this.
Just for when we did our Just as a Walking Hope.
Okay.
Yeah, we raised, but never for a nighttime show like this. Like we never. And it's kind of cool because I think as Fabio was saying, Wella's biggest competitors are here getting big donation checks, and I just love the fact that everybody felt so comfortable coming in and knowing that this was not. This was about helping hairdressers, and so this is about all of you at home as well. Like we have an amazing night where all the manufacturers have donated, but the idea that we can move mountains with a single person, what we have learned about this Sandy, I think more than anything else, is we've learned that individual people have absolutely moved mountains, and we've seen groups of people just come together in New York just to help everybody. No government, not about FEMA, not about politics. They just said, let's just jump in, and volunteers just started to come from everywhere, and they brought it all together. And I think that's what's really cool about tonight too. I know that we raised over $2 million when we built those homes for Katrina, and that was all done by each one of you giving $10 here, $5 there, and recognizing in a sense that it also is the holiday season. And you know what? We have so much to be grateful for, all of us. And as Fabio said, we've taken time away from our companies and our family, and it's a tough time to do that, but we weren't affected, and I feel so grateful that that we can do this. I feel grateful that that it didn't happen to me, and that we have to realize that it happens and will continue to happen, and we need to come together as an industry.
As I'm talking to you, I'm wiping some hair cuttings off my sweater here. But you know what, Mary, I'd like to say,
he
first of all,
my hair. You heard it behind the chair. Zhuzhed.
I actually wanted to say as well that watching what you did for Katrina, and I watched that from a distance, and I was in Canada at that time.
Yeah.
So watching that, you also taught a lot of us on how to give and how to be selfless in situations like this. So first of all, a pleasure working with you.
Yeah, you too.
A pleasure being with you, absolutely. And then I mean, we talked about businesses and work and all that, and we talked about families. And I just, if I may, I want to give my girls back home a big hug and a big kiss. Yeah. No worries. Hey, when you're live, these things happen. Yeah. I just want to give my wife Monica at home, and my daughters Jessica, Isabella, and my son Luigi, who's away at university. I want to give them a big wave hello, and Daddy loves you, and I'll be home soon. But this is what you got to do if you want to make a difference.
Daddy's doing something really important. So.
Hey everybody, it's Maggie Mulhern from Modern Salon TV here at the Jeremy Scott Show, and look who's sitting next to me, Fabio Sementilli. And we were discussing why it's important for hairdressers to attend shows like this. So you want to fill us in?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're a hairdresser of note, or especially in your own environment, your own salons, you consider yourself the leader. It's really important that we get to shows like this, whether it's Jeremy Scott, Oscar de la Renta, like last night, or any others. I think it's important that we show up. And as I'm looking around this room, Maggie, the only other stylist I see here is Orbe.
Yeah, but and that's Orbe's walking around here like a superstar.
But I want to say, it's not Orbe working, it's Orbe coming to be inspired. He's sitting in a seat just like we are.
But he's Orbe, and he gets to go to these shows.
Right.
How does a hairdresser who isn't Orbe get to attend?
Well, plain and simple, get busy and get involved. You got to become part of this fabric. If you're not part of the fabric, you're not going to get invited. And that's why I really challenge all the hairstylists that whether it's Fashion Week here in New York or LA or Miami that's coming up, get involved. Do your best to show up, because it really is inspiring. I can tell you from my standpoint, being the creative director for Wella, I need it just as much as anybody else needs it. So I'm really happy to be here and sit next to you, Maggie.
Well, first of all, thanks for the light.
Yeah. The light's good.
Yeah,
and I did get injured. New York Fashion Week is dangerous, as you can see.
Oh, look at that. Oh, my goodness.
So the Big Apple took a bite out of me, so... but we're okay.
All right, so just one last question.
Yeah.
We bumped into Mark Diebold backstage.
Sure.
And he was saying for hairdressers, up-and-coming hairdressers, to enter competitions like Wella Trend Vision. You want to elaborate on that?
Yeah. I mean, Mark Diebold is the perfect example. I mean, from Trend Vision competitions to our student competition a few years ago, Mark's been involved. And now he's becoming such a big part of our team. But how did that all happen? Well, it's because he made himself available. He put it out there, he challenged himself, and he's now part of our, not just our team, but our core team. So, love Mark, I'm so proud of him.
And he's a young-ish hairdresser, and he's here at the shows.
And he just moved to New York, by the way. So talk about taking your career to the next level.
I heard, and he got with a great salon that offers education and is really connected. So, and it's so good seeing you.
Yeah, you too. And I think there's somebody else. I think Michael Haas is back there too, one of our other hairstylists. Helping Eugene. So, Maggie, great to see you.
Oh, it's great to see you, and hopefully the show's going to begin.
Does everybody know the crush that I have on Maggie Mulhern?
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, if you don't know the crush, I do. Love you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.